Shavua Tov, a gute Woche, and welcome to our program. Next Wednesday is Chai Elul, the 18th day of Elul. What is Chai Elul? Chai Elul is the birthday of the Baal Shem Tov and the birthday of the Alter Rebbe. The Baal Shem Tov was born in the year Nachas, Tov Nun Ches, and the Alter Rebbe is born in the year Kahos, which is Tov Kuf Hei. And the Rebbe brings in a sikha of the previous Rebbe, that the previous Rebbe said two things about Chai Elul. One, Aleph and Beis. And the reason we are saying Aleph and Beis, because the Rebbe tells us that there is a reason for the Aleph and the Beis. The Aleph is, Chai Elul is der Tag, was hat gebracht und bringt a Leben in Elul. Chai Elul is the day that brought and brings a life, vitality to Elul. Beis, Chai Elul git a chayes in der Avede von Anila Deidi Vedeidi Li. Chai Elul gives vitality and a chayes to the service of Anila Deidi Vedeidi Li. I am to my beloved and my beloved is to me. And the Rebbe says, since it's an Aleph and a Beis, there must be a special reason why the first reason is Aleph and the second reason is Beis, and not Beis and Aleph and so on. We will return to that in a moment, but first, our customary story. I got a very interesting call from a young man who is one of the sponsors of the Siyum Rambam this year, and he has a very, very fascinating story that's connected with $1 of the Rebbe and with learning Rambam 3 Perokim every single day. And he starts a story that he was not only a sponsor of the Siyum Rambam of this year, he also made a decision a few days before Lag BaOmer. Lag BaOmer this year was the Siyum Rambam. He made a decision a few days before Lag BaOmer that he's going to start learning 3 Perokim a day. And he started learning when the Machzor was still in the old Machzor, the old cycle, in Hilchas Melochim or Milchamisehem. So he made a siyum on the Rambam, and then he started a new cycle. After a while, last week especially, he fell behind. 3 Perokim a day is a lot, he fell behind. And there was a time where he didn't know what he should do. Should he catch up, or maybe he should leave it alone? Because it's very difficult to catch up. 3 Perokim a day, you miss 1 day, you're talking about 6 Perokim. You miss 2 days, you're talking 9 Perokim, and so on. It's difficult to catch up. So he didn't know. But then he made a decision. This last Sunday, he, for 4 hours he was sitting and learning, and he caught up the Rambam and everything that he owed, and he was up to date. That night, he gets a call from his mother. And his mother tells him that she found $2 from the Rebbe for him that belonged to him. $1 of the Rebbe was by a Siyum Rambam in the year 1986. The Siyum Rambam then, it was Tov Shin Mem Vov, and it was on Chof Ches Odorishin Tov Shin Mem Vov. And he was 7 years old, came with his father, Olav Shalom, to the Siyum Rambam, and he got $1. And for whatever reason, he didn't know what happened to it. His mother found this dollar the Sunday that he caught up with the learning of the Rambam. And it was $1 that he got at the Siyum Rambam of Tovshin Mem Vov. The story then happened. It was the second Siyum Rambam. It was in the Marriott Hotel in Manhattan. And we asked the Rebbe, and the Rebbe sent out $6,000. That was a great gilui at that time, and we made all kinds of plans how to give it out. At the end, there were many people who were standing at all the exits and so on. He was a child, and he got $1. So now he says, with great hispilus, and he repeated it, with great hispilus, with great excitement, that the Rebbe, it comes out 26 years ago, sent out $1, so that he was 77 years old at the time, so this 7-year-old child should now receive the $1 again, that $1, because he started learning Rambam, and he made up on the deficit, and he's up to date on the Siyum Rambam. With that, his mother also found another $1 of the Rebbe before Rosh Hashanah. And I told him that $1, of course, is the Rebbe's appreciation that he's learning Rambam, and the second $1 is to wish him Aksir V'Chsimateva and Hashanah Teva Sukkot. What is fascinating about it, it happened this Sunday. As we are talking now before Elul, it happened this Sunday from an individual who was a sponsor of the Siyum Rambam and also started learning Rambam 3 prokim every single day. Was Chus Rabim Tluyo Bey. The Rebbe says, why is it Aleph and Beis? Because the Aleph is more important. Why is the Aleph more important? Because it gives a vitality, bringt a Leben in Elul. It brings a vitality, Chai, a vitality in the entire month of Elul. And that's why it comes as Aleph, and then there's the other reason. The Rebbe also brings a mind-boggling story. Although you can see it in Hayom Yom, it said there in Hayom Yom that in the Chai Elul Tofreish Nun Beis, the Rebbe Nishmos Eden, the father of the previous Rebbe, while he was in this world, not only was he in this world, he was only 31 years old, went up to the heavens. There are many who come up to the heavens, and that's not a miracle, and that's a one-way trip. The miracle here is he went up to Gan Eden, he heard that Torah from the Baal Shem Tov, and it was still in this world, and then he repeated the Torah of the Baal Shem Tov. So in general, that's like that in itself. The Rebbe Nishmos Eden was in this world. He was 31 years old, and he went up to Gan Eden, and he heard 7 Torahs of the Baal Shem Tov, and then he came back to this world from Gan Eden. Came back to this world. That in itself is one of the greatest miracles. The previous Rebbe did not reveal this story until Simchas Torah Tofreish Tzadik Zayin. Even after he heard it from his father, he didn't reveal it until Simchas Torah Tofreish Tzadik Zayin. Tofreish Tzadik Zayin is September of 1936. And the Rebbe asks the question, the very, very obvious question, if it's not something that we should know, then we should have never heard of the story. If it's something that we should know, and this is why we were told the story, why wait till Tofreish Tzadik Zayin in September, as mentioned, of 1936, so many years later? And the Rebbe says that the Gilui of that story had to do with the situation of the world at that time. And the Rebbe brings a moshel, a parable that's known by Chassidim, that the Baal Shem Tov gave a moshel Why is it now, in this generation, that Gilui Chassidus comes with the revelation of the Seders of Torah, of a lot of Kabbalistic concepts that are revealed in Chassidus and that were not revealed before. And why is it specifically in this generation? Because we see from the Alter Rebbe in Tanya that in the old generations it was forbidden to reveal the secrets of the Torah. And the Alter Rebbe says only the last generation's mitzvah. The Alter Rebbe brings the loshon that now it's not only permissible, mutar, it's mitzvah legalizes a chokhmah. Why now? So the Baal Shem Tov gave a moshel. The moshel was of a ben melech, of the crown prince, who took ill, Rahman al-Islam, and there was and no one was able to find a remedy to him. Until one doctor says there's one remedy, that you should take the stone that is the main stone in the crown of the king, the center stone that's in the crown of the king, and that symbolizes the importance of the kingdom. And you should take that stone and you should grind it into a liquid and put in with a dropper a few drops into the mouth of the prince, who is now in such a state that he can't even drink himself. However, we have to save his life. So we took something that was never touched, the big diamond that's in the center of the crown, which is the center of the kingdom, and we grinded that until we can give the Ben Melech a drop or two so that we can bring him back to life. And the answer to that is that it's the same thing with Klal Yisrael. Klal Yisrael was in a matzav that was like sleeping, or in a matzav of fainting, in a very, very, very difficult matzav. Then you have to revive Klal Yisrael with a drop of chassidus, which before was not permitted. And the Rebbe says that this shows that whenever there is an intensification of darkness, then you need a great air, a great revelation, a great shine to bring into this world, because that offsets the darkness. If we are talking about Tofeli Tzadik Zion, there were already dark skies on dark, very, very, very dark clouds on the Jewish skies. Rahman al-Islam was before the Holocaust, and the previous Rebbe wanted to do away and to remove those dark clouds of the Holocaust. And therefore, he chose to reveal a story that was concealed for so many years, and that's an absolutely mind-boggling story. The Rebbe Nishmos Eden went to Gan Eden, and he came back to this world, and he recorded the seven Torahs. That's something that was absolutely unheard of. So the Rebbe Nishmos, the Frierdiker Rebbe, wanted to use this to dispel all the darkness that existed in this world, or the dark clouds that were coming on the Jewish horizon. And as we know, right a few years after that, the war started in 1939. This is 1936, just before the war. And the Frierdiker Rebbe wanted to make sure that maybe to push away those clouds, to remove those dark clouds from the Jewish skies. And this is why he used this great revelation of his father, who went to Gan Eden and heard the stories from the Baal Shem Tov, heard the tales of the Baal Shem Tov, and then came back to this world and recorded those seven tales. Needless to say, in Our generation, we need a lot of miracles. And coming up is Tovshin Pei Gimel. Tei Shnas Plois Gedelis. There are many who make all kinds of miracles. They say a Pei and a Gimel, they can, and their fantasy runs away with them. Tovshin Pei Gimel is not a fantasy, and we're not running away with our fantasy. It's based on what the Rebbe said. The Rebbe said that Tovshin Nun Aleph was Plois Arenu, and Tovshin Nun was Niflois. What's Niflois? Nun Plois, 50 Plois. The Rebbe brings that medrash, which means that Tovshin Nun, in the language of the Rebbe, was Nun Plois. Teish Nas Niflois is Nun Plois, 50 Plois. Now 50 Plois is wonderful. 50 Plois, it's not one Pele. It's not one wonder. It's 50 great wonders. Nevertheless, 50 is a number. It's more than 49, but it's less than 51. And it's less than 100, and it's less than 1,000, and so on. Whereas when you say Tehei Shnas Tovshin Pei, Tehei Shnas Plois, and it was said on this program, it means miracles that are unlimited, not 50, no limit at all. Pei Gimel is Plois Gedelis. Plois, when you say many, it's a question of quantity. Gedelis is a question of quality. What kind of ploys? Real great ploys. So now we are going to celebrate Tehei Shnas Plois Gedelis. Ploys, as mentioned before, is unlimited in number of how many ploys. Gedelis is the quality of the ploys. That this is Tovshin Pei Gimel. Let us usher in this great year, Tovshin Pei Gimel. And what is, when we're talking about ploys for what? Miracles for what? Kimei tzeischa me'eretz Mitzrayim adenu niflois. Novi says that in Micho, as in the days when you went out of Mitzrayim, I will send you the ploys, non ploys, that was then. And now it's ploys unlimited, because we are talking about the Gulu Amitis V'Ashlemo, and not only ploys unlimited in quantitatively, in quantity, but also qualitatively. They are unlimited, they're gedelis, they're great ploys in all inyonim, which absolutely singles to us that we're talking about the Geula Amitis V'Ashlemo that's coming our way. Gesundheit und Freiligkeit. ובעגולו דידן ובשמחה ובטוב לבוב ובטיב הנילה והניגלה ולמטה מעשור הטפוחים ובחסד ובלחמים ותקף ומיד ממש.